Hey. All right. Sorry, guys. Welcome back to Talk with the Rose. I know we were just on talking about sociopaths and psychopaths, and then we were talking about. I have seen some of the crime scene photos, but I haven't seen all. But I keep talking about them. But I got this new OBS that I'm not used to working with, but I finally figured out how to get that little picture up there. That way. There. That way. You little box up there. Yeah, I finally figured out how to get that box up there. Because before I was like, how am I going to show the pictures that I'm talking about and show you guys what I'm talking about if, I can't figure out how to add that. So I pretty much went through adding all kinds of sources until it led me add the source I wanted to add. So we'll go through all the public info out there, and maybe we'll do an even deeper dive if you guys know where more info is out there. And we can kind of talk about um, these photos I'm talking about. Okay, so we'll kind of go over the photos I've been talking about because there's the Gypsy Rose. Let's go through the crime scene photos. So this is all for educational purposes and for us to talk about and just kind of go over our own little theories and stuff and show you guys what we're talking about. And oh gosh, I wish we could. Like, Fancy can't wait to get a hold of that autopsy report. I've tried looking for it too, but there's nothing out there about that autopsy report. Like, okay, oh man, see some of those photos I didn't see on my last search. Some of them, so like we're not going to pull up the bad photos. No bad photos. We're just gonna. This is kind of odd because Gypsy says that Nick made her take all her stuffed animals off her bed. Because they went and played around after but this bed doesn't look very cleared off. It doesn't look very cleared off, does it? I think they're hoarders. But like, that's the big question about this. Oh, I didn't notice that I am special license plate up there. See, that's how spoiled she is. I am special license plates up there. Hey, Brian, yo. Hi. But, like, I question all of these photos because, like I said, this doesn't look very cleared off to me. Unless they put some back on the bed during the cleanup or something. Because that doesn't look that doesn't look very cleaned off to me. It doesn't look very cleaned off. See, here's the picture of them at the movie theater. Oh, whoops. You see the picture of them at the movie theater. And yeah, the question is, who took the photo? Of course, Dee Dee did. This is their first meeting up. See, they look happy. They look like they're having fun. Like, who smiles that big? If your mom is being mean to you, who smiles that big? Like, if you're not having a good time and they're like, well, here, I'll take a picture of you both, you're gonna kind of be like, yeah, let's take a picture. I feel so good about this. See, where's the where is this photo taken though? This is like taken that same day. She's in the same outfit, everything. That's the same wig, same Cinderella outfit. Just Nick's not in the picture. I wonder where that was taken. Are we talking about? Yeah. I was just on my last live. Everybody was talking about. I was told them I'll do a deeper dive into the crime scene photos and see what more I can see, because I've only seen some of them. But these aren't all of them. These are like, um, I guess here's a photo of that night. The night they were there. Ugh. I wanted to see exactly where the tire tracks were. There's tire tracks in the yard. Because that's kind of odd that there's tire tracks. Was it Gypsy? Was it Gypsy took advantage of? Like, what do you mean, was it Gypsy that took advantage of? Because Gypsy's the one who had her boyfriend unalive her mother. Do you not know much about that case? It's like, yeah, you're used to us gaming and having fun on Twitch. But, so you're gonna see. But I've been trying to figure out how to. Didn't the mom use her? It's like that's the biggest question up in the air is at what point did Gypsy know they were pulling a medical con, and at what point did Gypsy become a willing participant? Because when they got that Habitat for Humanity home, Gypsy was like 16, 17 years old. When she was in that wheelchair, playing like she had leukemia and stuff like that, and playing like she had muscular dystrophy and stuff, she was 16, 17 years old. And she knew she could walk. She purposely used a fake voice. She knew that wasn't her voice. Like, this case is so insane because Gypsy's never going to tell the full truth of what happened. Because at some point, she became a willing participant in this. Maybe not when she was like 6, 7, 8 years old. Her mom would tell her. Well, there's people that said, hey, I was at Gypsy's parties and I remember her putting people in the wheelchair and pushing the wheelchair around. And like there was a point in time when the wheelchair was only occasionally used. And it wasn't until after Hurricane Katrina, when she was 14, 15 years old, that she was in the chair permanently. When they moved to Missouri, and they were away from family, and they started running their own con, that she was in the chair and never got out. Okay, where's that? I'm trying to look for a certain crime scene photo so people can see. So like this picture right here, this is right after Hurricane Katrina, before they get that helicopter ride to Missouri. This is the first time they shaved her head. She's like 14 years old right here. See, this is the helicopter ride they get right there. they the first time, this is the first time she shaved her head. Right there in the sink at the Superdome, where everybody after Hurricane Katrina gathered, they shaved her head to fake the cancer to get the helicopter ride to Missouri. And then it was 2 years later, after Hurricane Katrina, that they got this house. 2 years later. Like, this story is just insane. It's completely insane because, like, if you look at all the pictures prior to Hurricane Katrina, her head is never shaved. She's got short hair, but it's never shaved. Cancer, none of that came up. Rod says it was after they moved to Missouri that Dee Dee started talking about cancer. So right there, yeah, that's the picture of her at the Superdome. The first time they shaved her head. Because prior to that, she had short hair like this. She had short hair. And these pictures of her in the hospital, these are sleep studies. These are breathing treatments. She really did have asthma. They take these photos and they make you think something worse is going on in these photos than what really is. These are just breathing treatments. I think this is at home, a breathing treatment, but like, this is a sleep study. No surgery, nothing's going on here. This is a sleep study. This picture, this is a sleep study. What dog? The little dog in the photo? With her and her mom cuddled up with the little dog? That little dog? They never say what happens to that dog. Like, at one time, I didn't even know they had pets, but there is that photo with them with that little dog. This one. This is what you're talking about. With the photo with the little dog. Like, I don't know what happened to the dog. She talks about a bunny rabbit she had named Pixie, but she doesn't talk about, like, anything else other than the bunny rabbit. Not guinea pigs. In the act, they portrayed that she had guinea pigs, but she had a bunny rabbit. One day I will get onto the case of JonBenet Ramsey. I want to get onto that. I remember when that case went down. I remember my mom's thoughts on that case and everything. I remember when that happened too. There's one other case we need to get to before 2025 also. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Like, this is the only brief snippet of a dog that they had. This picture is the only telling picture that at one time. Which one? The JonBenet Ramsey one? I just keep, like, even though I looked up crime scene photos for Dee Dee Blanchard, like, the other cases are coming up. I want to, the case of JonBenet Ramsey, that one is another case of a rabbit hole to dive down. This 6-year-old little girl is unalived on December 26th, the day after Christmas, I think in 1995. I want to say 1995. This is another torn case of who do you think did it? Do you think a stranger did it? Do you think somebody who knew the family did it? Do you think the dad did it? Do you think the mom did it? Do you think the brother did it? Or do you think the brother did it and the mom and dad are covering up for the brother? Like, her unaliver, her murderer, has never been found. Not to this day. It's never been found. Over 25 years later, never been found. There is so many things in her case that are question mark that points to somebody in the family did it. And I do have some thoughts on who might have done it. Like, I don't know who did it. It's so hard to... I'm wondering if the brother did do it and the parents are covering up. Because that's actually the theory I think that possibly happened, is the brother did it and the parents are covering up. Because there is evidence that the brother did it. The evidence points to the brother. And the parents just couldn't have it. They couldn't have it. And they just couldn't have their reputation tarnished like that. And so they covered it up. I do want to get onto her case. She was a beauty queen. Her mother was one. And then when she had her own daughter, she made her daughter a beauty queen, carrying on the family tradition. So she's a 6-year-old beauty queen that got unalived on a day after Christmas. No, it was her unaliving was a total accident. The brother, what the most popular theory is, they got home from a Christmas party. The brother, in the middle of the night, was up eating a bowl of pineapple with milk in it. That's an interesting... I should try that sometime. Pineapple with milk in it. And JonBenét comes down the stairs and she grabs a piece of the pineapple out of the bowl and eats it. And the brother got mad at her. You know those big Maglite flashlights that cops carry? Those big Maglite ones? Like those huge, heavy Maglights? The Maglite flashlight was sitting right there at the counter next to the brother. He grabbed the Maglite and just whacked her in the head. And he's 9 years old and she's 6. So he's a few years older than her. And so, yeah, he hits her on the head and she passes out. And he's playing with his choo-choo train. And he grabs the tracks and he's kind of poking at his sister because she's passed out. And I think he doesn't know what happened. Like, he hits his sister and she goes down. And the parents are like, what did you do? You unalived your sister. And so the parents panic. What do we do? So they said, here's what we're going to do. And they set up this whole scene to act like she was kidnapped. They write up a ransom note. They stage her body and everything in the basement to look like a kidnapping. You know, they tie stuff around, they stage the body, which is actually what ends up unaliving her. She didn't die from the head wound, not yet. She would have died with, if she didn't hurry up and get, if they would have called 911 after the brother hit her, they would have done surgery and she would have been fine and the internal bleeding would have been stopped. She would have been fine. But instead, they decide to stage, and they ended up actually, whoever staged the scene unalived her. Because there's scratch marks from her clawing at the rope. And then they lock the door and they finish writing the ransom note, and then they call 911 and stage the whole thing, get the cops to come over. They don't find the body for like 6, 7, 8 hours. The cops don't. They don't do a thorough search of the house and find it. And then, like, they played it off like this kidnapping happened. And so there's like 5 different ways this could have gone. Some people think the mother did it. That the mother got angry at the daughter for constantly wetting the bed and slammed her head against the bathtub. And when she thought she unalived her own daughter, they staged. So the husband staged the thing to cover up for the wife. There's the theory that the father did it because he was essaying her, and the autopsy showed that she'd been essayed for years on end. And maybe she fought him off and he did it. Maybe I should turn this into a Jean Benet video instead of a Gypsy Rose one. But like, it's insane. The story of Jean Benet Ramsey is insane because it's like, it's another giant rabbit hole of who do you think did it, unsolved case, who did it. This beautiful little girl, who did this to her. It was definitely an accident. Or started out as an accident. And somebody's covering for somebody. Like, yeah, it's a crazy long case. I know when it first happened, my mom thought the mom did it because my mom's like, oh, she's a pageant mother. You know, all pageant moms are angry and her daughter wasn't perfect. And that's what my mom thought. My mom always thought the mother did it because it's like, oh, this is what comes with making your daughter into a public figure, you know? Is there another case that you want? Well, there's a lot of cases to talk about. There's some famous ones, like Scott Peterson right now is going up for, he's got the Innocence Project backing him now. Now, I do think that Scott Peterson does deserve a retrial. I do not know if he's innocent. I got a couple theories on that. Because I do have a couple theories on Scott Peterson that nobody said. I would love to see Scott Peterson get that new trial. Because I wonder if I'm right. Like, there's so many cases to do. There's a case that happened when I was younger also. Susan Powell unalived her 2 children. And for 9 days, she faked that they were kidnapped. Took the police 9 days to find out that she unalived her children. She's up for parole next year. Susan Powell's about to get out. She's up for parole. And oh my gosh, if she gets parole, she could be the next Gypsy Rose. If Susan Powell gets out, she went in prison before the internet was a thing, really. And when she comes out, now that the internet is a thing, she could be the next Gypsy Rose trying to get sympathy. And so, not many people have talked about Susan Powell's case, but it's going to be talked about soon when she goes up for parole in 2025. And if she gets parole just like Gypsy, there's people that are older like me who remember the case who aren't going to be very sympathetic to her. And then there's going to be people who are of the newer generation, just like with Gypsy Rose, who are going to be more sympathetic because they weren't there when the story happened. They didn't watch the story go down for those 9 days. She had a new boyfriend. Stupid story. Stupid same old story. Wanted a new life. Instead of just getting a divorce and giving the kids to her husband, or giving her kids to her mom, or giving up her kids somewhere safe, instead of doing the right thing for her kids, she decided, I'm just going to get rid of them. And she thought she could pull out the victim card. And the victim card worked for a few days. It did. Until it didn't. And then she was found out because she confessed to her husband, basically. She was in a bad marriage, and their marriage, for those 9 days, she became closer together with her husband over the grief of their children being missing. And she accidentally confessed to her husband what she had done. And then, of course, she went to trial claiming insanity and all kinds of other stuff. And now she's up for parole. And I see her being possibly the next Gypsy Rose. Okay, father confident remains. Okay, let's see. No, not Susan Powell. What's her name? Gosh darn it. Wrong one. Susan Powell is the one who went missing. And she has the two. Okay, that's another crazy story. Not Susan Powell. What's her name? What's her name? Susan Smith. Okay, Susan Smith will be eligible for parole in 2024. She will be up for parole. Susan Powell is the victim. I got it wrong and backwards. Sorry. Susan Smith. This is why I don't think. Well, the problem is she wanted the kids at one time. Kind of, I think. She had a bad marriage that she brought two kids into a bad marriage. And you don't think, oh, I'm pregnant, this is a bad marriage, maybe I should get a... You think maybe the kid will make it better or something, or... Oh, so Susan Smith happened in 1994, like a year or two before JonBenet Ramsey. I think JonBenet Ramsey may have happened in 96. Okay, so what is her parole? Yeah, she was having an affair with a man, and that man didn't want children. So she needed to get rid of her children. Because she's like, okay, I want to be with this new guy. He doesn't like kids. So instead of doing the right thing and just giving the kids up to somebody, the mom, the mother-in-law, the husband, there's so many people you can give your kids up to if you don't want them anymore. You can literally just drop them off at a fire station and abandon them at any age and say, I don't want them anymore. And they'll go into the foster care system. You don't have to go do what Susan Smith did. So, okay, she's up for parole in 2024 this year. No, oh, November. I thought it's 2025. It's sooner than I thought. Okay. So this November, Susan Smith is up for parole. So never mind, it's closer than I thought. Oh gosh, this November. That's not that far away. See those two sweet little boys? Like, okay, so yeah, this isn't that far away. Diane Downs. I know that name. Let me look it up real quick. I know Diane Downs. I know that name. But I can't think of what she did. But I know that name. I've heard that name before. Okay. Oh wow, that was like I was only a couple years old then. Oh, I remember this story. Okay. She same thing cuz Susan Smith, hey Becca, she sounds identical. Okay. Yeah, okay, yeah, because Susan Smith tried to pull off the same thing. She's like, my kids were in the car, somebody robbed me and took the kids and the car. But this one, Diane Downs is like, somebody shot my kids and but not her apparently, but the kids. Being flagged down by a bushy haired stranger and then getting the call for what would turn out to be his first was that she had taken the kids out to a friend's house. It grew dark upon the return. She decided to do some sightseeing. She took with three sleeping kids in the car. I had her down. She stopped the car and asked. And the response was, I want your car. Time pushed her aside and reached in and shot the sleeping kids. Said she then faked throwing her keys to divert the gunman's attention, pushed him out of the way, jumped back in the car, and raced to the hospital with her badly wounded children. I think if I remember the case, not all the children were gone at this time. Some of them, I think, passed on while in the hospital. If I remember right about that case, like, some of the kids passed away. Yeah. And so, yeah, Susan Smith, who pretty much, yeah, did the same things as Diane Downs did. She's up for parole this November, and we'll see if Susan Smith gets parole and if she becomes the next Gypsy Rose. She shot herself in the arm, yeah. She's like, okay, to prove I got shot too. I mean, that's like, I think when police officers see such a superficial wound on one person and a deadly wound on everybody else, like, that's red flag number one. You did it, psycho. You did it yourself. Because you give yourself a small superficial wound that can be healed, while everybody else, all of a sudden, her daughter, yeah, her daughter died, her other daughter survived. Oh, yeah, because I remember not all the kids passed on in the car. And she raced to the hospital fast enough. Because didn't she drive around for like a half an hour and then race to the hospital? Like, I think she drove around for a little bit, making sure that by time she got to the hospital, they would all be passed on, but they weren't. And so I don't think she's probably ever getting out. I'm surprised Susan Smith is up for parole. You would think that she got life without parole. Most people get life without parole. Like, I was surprised to hear that Susan Smith is up for parole. Yeah, apparently a car behind her thought she was trying to wind him up with how slow. Yeah, she said she sped to the hospital, but she didn't. She didn't speed to the hospital like she claimed. Yeah, she claimed she did, but she didn't, because she wanted the kids to pass on. She wanted, by the time she got to the hospital, they weren't savable. And so, yeah, I remember she either drove around or for a while, or she drove really slow, but she didn't speed straight to the hospital like she said she did. That is a sad case. Like, once again, I'll have to look more into Diane Downs. Maybe I should do it like a Diane Downs / Susan Smith kind of. Because they both use the carjacker story. Although what Susan Smith did is her boys were in car seats, so they can't unbuckle themselves. And they're like ages like 1 and 3, 2 and 4, something like that. They're really young. They can't unbuckle themselves. So they were in car seats, and she pushed her car into a lake and watched the car drown. Oh, these stories are insane, like that. So I can't believe Susan Smith is up for parole after what she did. And then she ran down the street and knocked on somebody's door and said, "This guy stole my car, my kids are in it." And for 9 days, nobody knew this car was already at the bottom of a lake. And then people are like, can you imagine what Susan Smith's kids went through? Because They were strapped in the car seats. There was no way they could save themselves. And she just pushed this car into the lake. And then she tried to spin this story of she wanted to unalive herself. And she jumped out the car at the last second. And she tried to jump in and save her sons. But she couldn't dive down in the water and save them. Because at the last second she decided, no, I don't want to die. And jumps out the car. And so that's the story she tried to spin first when going into court was, no, I'm just, insanity. I wanted to unalive myself. But then at the last second, I backed out and it was too late for my boys. Yeah, this one happened a while ago. This case is like 40 years old. Yeah. I'll have to look more into her story because I haven't heard of Diane Downs in a long time. Like, nobody talks about her anymore. Said maybe I ought to do a dual video of Diane Downs, Susan Smith, Mother Sue. Like, I mean, you know, worst case scenario, you don't want your kids drop them off at a fire station, you know? Because it does break my heart every time mothers do this. Like, how can you... I mean, your worst fear as a mom is like when you ask somebody to babysit your kids that the babysitter is a good person and you're gonna come home and your kids are gonna be okay, and you call halfway through your date to make sure the babysitter's doing fine and the kid is doing fine, and like your worst fear as a mom should be and is, what's gonna happen to my kids? Are my kids gonna be okay? You shouldn't be sitting here thinking about your boyfriend going, well, my boyfriend doesn't like him, so I guess they gotta go. It's like, oh my gosh, how does your mind go there? It's like, how does your mind drift there? I mean, you should be like, fine, I'll get a divorce and you can have the kids and I'll visit them or whatever. Or people are so scared of the word divorce. A lot of crimes happen because that's the Susan Powell case, the Josh Powell case was once again over divorce. That one is a really sad story. This one actually happened in my state, in the same city I live in. This one, the Susan Powell and Josh Powell case, this one, I definitely remember when this case happened. Because it was a big deal in my state. Because this happened in Utah where I live. Once again, guy afraid of the divorce word unalived his wife. And while DCFS and everybody was looking into the case and suspecting him, he still had visitation and custody of his kids. And a couple of years had gone by and they were still coming down on him, trying to find out where her body's never been found to this day. To this day, her body's never been found. And her body's never been found. And They couldn't find nobody, no. This was back in the time when nobody, nobody, no crime kind of thing deal was going on. I think they've kind of let that go a little bit so that Josh Powell's don't happen again. Because they were like, okay, well, nobody, no crime. We just have a missing person. And he was supposed to have supervised visitations with his kids. And the DCFS worker brought the kids over to his house, and he shoved her out the door and slammed the door on her face and locked the door. And then 5 minutes later, he blew up the house with him and the kids in it. And so that whole family is gone now because of him. First, the wife, and then later him and the kids. And I remember a big hunt for Susan Powell that went down. The big hunt for her. Across Utah and Idaho. They were going all over the place looking for her, trying to track down where he could have abandoned her. They were taking like mileage from the rental cars and everything, and they were trying to get this radius of where he drove between like Utah and Idaho and possibly Oregon, and just trying to figure out what would he do. We got to find the body so we have a crime so that we can take him to court. And so I think the justice system has let up on it. If there's enough evidence in a missing persons case that you think that they're no longer here, to go ahead and charge somebody with because they almost, Scott Peterson, they almost went that way with him too, the no body, no crime thing, until the bodies were found, and then they were like, okay, we got the bodies, we got the crime. They arrested him literally the day they found the bodies, because they already knew that he probably did it. But once again, you have the no body, no crime. How do you prosecute somebody if there's no body? Because you don't want a Gone Girl situation. You don't want somebody who just ran away and faked being unalived. Which, funny enough, Fancy thinks that Gypsy pulled that Gone Girl move. Because, apparently, Gypsy was saving vials of her own blood. I don't know if she was taking it from herself, or a doctor she's like, can I have a vial of my blood? I don't know. Like, I don't know how people get vials of blood. I don't know how you do that. I guess unless you... Oh, gosh. I couldn't take it myself. Who can take it? But apparently... that's the other thing about her crime scene photos. Where people say that... from the kitchen and everything, there was, because here's a picture of the kitchen, kind of, that supposedly there's blood on the cabinets and stuff, and it's Gypsy's blood, because she tried to pull a Gone Girl move. Because Gone Girl came out a year or something just before she did this. And there's supposed to be... Click to search within this image. Oh, cabinets. They're like, do you want to buy these cabinets that they had? No, I don't want to buy these cabinets. But they're supposed to be, if Fancy's right, they're supposed to be... There's supposed to be like they said that that they found a vial of her blood in the fridge, and that there was other vials that Gypsy kind of spread around the house to make it look like she was there, and there's her blood, and she's unalived, and they took her body but left her mom's body, or they took her and she was bleeding when they left, or something like. See, I need to find out where can you find, is it Crimes for Dummies? Where you can find all the crime scene photos? Crimes for Dummies. I know that's where you can find all the interrogation videos. There's supposed to be like a Crimes for Dummies page. I've seen their YouTube, but I haven't seen, I mean, maybe, let me see if I can, okay, here's the crime scene photos. Do they have a website you can go to? Okay. There's the outside of the house. There's one shed. They got like 3 sheds on this property, by the way. There's a shed over here behind this tree. Don't know if you guys know that there's another shed over here. There's like this shed right here, this big one. And then there's another shed or 2 over there on the property. There's like multiple sheds. See, there's the one beside the house. There's the baseball cap and the spray bottle on the floor. See, there's the junction box, the blue couch, and the purple wall. Remember that. Okay. We don't want to look at any of the bad photos. We want to skip any photos that's... Well, there's a straw cup Pepsi bottle. They said she loved her Pepsi. There's her wheelchair in the bathroom. I wonder why she left it in the bathroom. Thought she was in the bathroom taking a bath and shaving or something. Like, I wonder why the wheelchair was left in there. There's the razor. They should test the razor for what kind of hair is in it. Is it leg hair? Be like, is that leg hair? I don't know. Let's see, there's some Febreze. Some plastic bags, some bananas, there's the ID cards on the table. Some Scooby-Doo crackers. There's the box of gloves. I don't know what these pictures are now. Oh, these are... I've never seen these ones. These are the Go to John house. Is this the Go to John house? I've never seen the Go to John house ones. Okay, so there's this red cell phone. I think the red one was Gypsy's, right? And the black one was Nick's. Is this Nick's room? Are these the hard drives out of their computers? Okay, I've never seen the Go to John ones. I've seen this picture, I think. This is everything that was in Gypsy's backpack, I think. I think this is like her backpack emptied out. So there's the cash in the bag. Nest fund. It does say nest egg something on it. Nest egg savings. And then there's a National Bank bag. That's interesting. And then there's the Social Security cards, the IDs, hairbrush, handcuffs. Apparently she's so scared of handcuffs. She's got her own little pair right there. I mean, that tells you something. She has a pair of handcuffs in her backpack. You know, if your mom handcuffed you, you in a bad way, you would never want to be handcuffed, even in a good way. Yeah. When I first got with my husband, I had to break him of the habit of grabbing the back of my head. I mean, he didn't do it in a bad way, but like, you know how sometimes, like, I just, like, we'd be driving in the car and he would like put his hand on the back of my head, and it's kind of, because he likes that. He likes it when I put my hand on the back of his head and I scratch it. But when he puts his hand on the back of my head, like, I can't stand that. Yeah, she does. Like, she should be scared of these handcuffs. Like I said, I had to tell my husband, it's like, I will scratch the back of your head. That's fine. I don't mind scratching the back of your head. But it's like, please don't grab the back of my head. Just don't. Because every time you grab the back of my head, it just feels wrong, brings back flashes of bad memories that just don't feel good. And that's even years and years, a couple of decades later, I still don't like the feeling, And so I had to be like, no, as we're driving down the road, put your hand on my leg or my arm or anywhere else, just not the back of my head. Like they said, if she really was scared of surgeries, she wouldn't be getting a nose job. That's what Kate and everybody else with True Munchausen by proxy survivors are saying too. They're like, they don't dare go under the knife in a good way. Once you've had something bad actually happen to you, you don't even want it to happen to you in a good way. A good way freaks you out. Like I said, I don't, I haven't thought about that in a while, about my husband grabbing the back of my head. He hasn't done it in years because I asked him not to a few times and he finally stopped doing it. I was just like, no, please don't do it. But watching Gypsy's story brings back PTSD of my childhood. Because there are things that I look at and I'm just like, I don't know how you're okay with it, Gypsy, because I'm not. Yeah, you get what... See, true survivors, you get what I mean. You get it. only doing it lovingly because he likes the back of his head scratched. So he thought, okay, while Rose is driving, I'm going to put my hand on the back of her head to show I support her. And it's like, please, please, please don't. And so seeing those handcuffs just throws me back into PTSD moments. And wondering why she's even carrying around a pair of handcuffs bugs me. It should throw her back into PTSD moments. That's what PTSD is. The second somebody does something to you to put you back in that moment, or the second you see something and it puts you back in that moment, and it freaks you out. And yeah, those handcuffs and stuff, it just freaks me out. Oh, yep, nest egg savings. I read that right. I'm like, I read it right. Those must be Nick's shoes. They're looking for like blood. Oh wow, they're counting the money. They're like, nest egg fund. But like, yeah, just looking at her case brings me PTSD. And yeah, true survivors get it, Becca. We get it. Give me true survivors, we get it. And so yeah, it's hard to look back on this stuff, and this isn't my case. This isn't, I didn't go through this, but it still throws me back into PTSD moments. So in the closet, in the very back corner, they find the envelope. So that's where they found it. I hate how she, like, I hate how cops do this. I hate how she got the truth out of Nick. But I mean, she got the truth, I guess, you know. She got the truth out of him. I hate how she did it. I hate watching her trick Nick. I want to see something. Okay, so let's look at Gypsy's there's something I've been wondering about the interrogation videos that's been bugging me that I want to get an answer to. Okay, let's see if we can. Okay, so I'm gonna put this right here, and I'm gonna put Nick's right here. I've been wanting to side by side these for a while. I want so the timestamp when she comes in is 11:29 in the morning. I can't see the timestamp on this video. I'm gonna have to look up another one with the timestamp on it. I want to see the timestamp side by side. Because every time this cop talking to Gypsy leaves the room, I'm thinking he's talking to her. And they're matching stories. And so I want to see the timestamp side by side. I want to see the... It doesn't have a timestamp on it. It doesn't show a timestamp. Where's... Oh, this one? Look at this video. At the very end. Look at this video at the very end. Listen to what the cop says about the Facebook posts. See what she said there? The third post. The first post was the bee is dead. The second post was I slashed her like a pig and raped the girl. And the third post is the girl is unalive too. But Gypsy deleted that while Nick was outside talking to the cops. She deleted that post. She was the one hiding in the armoire, I guess. She was the one hiding up in Nick's room. And Nick went downstairs. Gypsy was texting Dan. Nick saw Gypsy texting Dan. And that's why in his interrogation video he says, I won't forgive Dan. And then Gypsy goes and deletes that third post. But the cops, the responding officers, they saw it first before it got deleted. And she sits here and talks about all three posts right here in the video. She tells Nick's mom about the three posts. Why does Gypsy's not have a timestamp on it? Or everybody keeps cutting off the timestamp? Because that's the part I'm most interested in now, is the timestamp. See, I can't see the timestamp. See, watch what she says here. Right before he comes in. Hold on. Do they show it? She's standing up. Okay, listen. This is what I was talking about, Becca. Listen to what Gypsy says right here. The cops coming in saying, because this is the Waukesha County Police, and he's coming in and telling her that the Missouri police are here to talk to you. Oh. Ah, they cut it off. Did you hear what Gypsy said? Did you just hear just now what she said? She said, okay, I'll talk to the cop and then I gotta go back to the house where my stuff is. And she's talking about Nick's house. She's like, okay, I'll talk to the officer and then, I gotta go get my stuff, and gotta go back to the house and get my stuff. She planned on walking out of this police station. I don't know exactly what she was going to tell the cops, what her plan is in her head right now, but her plan is, okay, I'll talk to the cop, but then I got to go get my stuff, and then I want to go back to Missouri where, I got to go back home. And so she's already talking to the cops, buttering them up of, okay, well, I'll talk to the Missouri cop, but then I got to go get my stuff, okay? And I gotta go home. I gotta go get my stuff. I gotta go home. It's like she's trying to fill the cop up of, I'll talk to him and then you guys are gonna release me, right? Because I gotta go get my stuff. My stuff isn't here. It's back at Nick's house. I caught that on my third view of the videos. I was like, oh my gosh, she does say it. She does sit there and plan on walking out of this police station. She plans on getting up and getting out of this police station. See, when he walks in, I wanted the timestamp because have they already started talking to Nick? how far into Nick's interrogation are they? You know, they don't have the timestamps on any of these videos. Because that's what I'm wondering. I wanted to see these two videos side by side, time stamped, so I could see how the cops are moving between the two rooms. Did they hit up Nick first? Is this after midnight? Did they hit up Gypsy a while later? Because this is just before midnight. This is 11:30 at night when she comes in and interviews Nick. What time is it when he walks in to interview Gypsy? How much does he already know? Because did he sit in the room and watch through the camera and watch what Nick said? You know, how much does he know when he walks in this room is what I want to know. I'm trying to find a video with the timestamp on it. Trying to see if I can... See, yeah, I can't see a timestamp. These videos are all supposed to be time-stamped. Unless they don't timestamp the victim room. Because... yeah, see, once again, where's the timestamp on the video? Because he's sitting here saying, if you're involved in this, you need to tell me now. So is this like 12:30 in the morning? They already know everything Nick said? Is that why he said it that way? He's like, okay, I'm going to give you this chance to tell me the truth. Because he already knows the truth. They've already interrogated it. Because when they first brought Gypsy into the Waukesha County Police Department, the reason why she's in the room with the couch and the police bought her that fish from the gift shop is because at this moment they think she's a victim. They think she's this sick little... from talking to the neighbors, they think that she's this sick little girl and she's a victim. They have no idea at this time that she's a perpetrator. They solely think she's a victim. So I wonder if they interrogated Nick first. But then the way she talks to Nick of, we already talked to Gypsy, we know about the cleanup everything, it's like, well, where did you get that idea to say that to him at? Did they already go by Nick's house and get all the evidence from Nick's house? You know, like, oh, I don't know. I wonder if, I want to see something. The crime scene photos, are they time-stamped? No, it doesn't look like they're time-stamped either. Because is this before did they take these pictures prior to the interrogation? Is this the Waukesha County? Did they arrest Gypsy and Nick and then the Waukesha County police went in and did all of this evidence taking? And so they got like a third or so of the evidence before they interrogate him. They got all of this evidence prior to the interrogations. See, that's why I want to see timestamps. This is obviously in the daytime because they have everything outside and lined up. So this is daytime. So this is either prior to the interrogations or this is the next day after the interrogation. It's like, give me one timestamp. Just one little timestamp. Oh, wait, here we go. Wait, hold on. This might be timestamped. Item number 10. Time. It says 12 p.m. on date of collection. It says, gosh darn it. It says, I can see 6:15, but I can't see that middle number. I can't see. Oh, 6:16? 6:16? 6:16 wins the interrogation videos. Okay, hold on. Control copy. Okay, control paste. Okay, hold on. Let's look at this real quick. Hold on. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Okay, so 6:16. This is after midnight. Okay, so this evidence was collected the next day. Because if it says 6:16 on it, if the evidence is stamped 6:16, then this is after the interrogation. If this says 6:16, that's a 6, not a 5, right? Yeah, that's a 6. It's 6:16:15 at noon. Package with knife inside, mailed to home. Suspect's bedroom. Type of offense, homicide. Okay, so this was collected after the interrogations. Because this interrogation is timestamped 6:16:043:11. So midnight-ish. And so this was collected the next day at noon. Because it says 12 p.m. So they did the interrogation. They went back to the house the next day and ransacked the house. So they just arrested Nick and Gypsy and left the house, brought them back, found out the real story, went back to the house. Because, yeah, I'm like, I want some timestamps, baby. Where's those timestamps? Because that's what I'm in. I want to see. I want to see. I want to see some timestamps. Ooh, when was Nick's mom's interrogation? I wonder when that was. Probably the next day also. See, I can't. The screen cuts off. It says Waukesha County Sheriff's Interview Room 3, and that's all it says. There's no time, date. It is an interview room. But I wish it had a time and date stamp on it. That's like the biggest thing that's missing for me that I want to see in this case. I want to know the time of everything. I want to know the time every bit of evidence and all of that was logged in. I want the interrogation time stamps. I want Let's see. Oh, see, interview. Oh, they cut that out. Because, see, this one says Waukesha County Sheriff's Interview Room 1, and the timestamp is above it. So this was at 5 o'clock in the evening. So long after they raided the house, then they brought the parents in. Because this is like 5 hours later after they logged in all the evidence. This is like 5 hours later. So Gypsy's does have a timestamp on it, but for some reason, everybody's video cuts out her timestamp. It just shows the interview room. There's no timestamp. Oh, look, it's me. Haha, just kidding. Not. Let's see. Da, 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 da. I don't think I'm gonna find one with a timestamp. Well, you know, it's another really weird case to look at. I told a guy on my Twitch about some of the crime stuff I want to look at, and there's one unsolved, kind of unsolved, really weird case. This picture just reminded me of it. Boy uses umbrella to prevent elevator door from closing. Causes free fall. Whoa. I bet he'll never do that again. I got trapped in an elevator once when I was 17. That was scary. I am a tiny bit scared of elevators ever since then. What's that case called? Yeah, that one. Have you heard of the Kanika Jenkins case? That one is one of the oddest stories out there that so this girl tells her mom she's going to a party at a hotel with her friends, and she lies. I think it says that her friend's mom's gonna be there, blah blah blah, whatever. So anyways, her and like 3 other friends go to this party at this hotel, okay? And people are taking TikTok videos up there. You can see her in the background of the video. You know, she drinks a little bit, but she doesn't drink a lot. But apparently she drinks enough to get drunk. Well, some guy was kind of like hitting on her or something, and things were getting weird, so she wanted to leave. And so her and her 3 friends leave and go to the elevator. And then she says, oh, I forgot my phone and blah, 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 blah. And so her 3 friends go, okay, we'll go back into the hotel room real quick and we'll get your phone. They're in there for like 15 or 20 minutes. They don't come out. But during that 15, 20 minutes, they left Kanika by herself at the elevator. And she went ahead and hit the elevator button because she's drunk. And she gets in the elevator and she hits L for what she thinks is lobby, first floor. But it's like lower level or something. She accidentally hits lower level. She gets off at the lower level, and for like 10, 15 minutes or so, you can see her walking down different hallways, bathrooms, everything downstairs, okay? You can see her stumbling through the basement of this hotel. And then she goes into this kitchen area, and this kitchen is under revamp because they're going to loan it out to another hotel or something, or restaurant. And so it's under construction. But Kanika goes back there, and this picture you see right here, that's her in that kitchen area. And there's cameras all across this whole basement except for in the back part of this kitchen. She goes into the back part of this kitchen and you never see her again on camera. You don't ever see her again. She is found, I think a day later, in the freezer. Nobody knows how she got in the freezer. They don't know if she drunkenly went in there herself and she couldn't get out. She didn't know how. She was too drunk to figure out how to get out of the freezer. Yeah, people are going nuts on the internet with this case. Maybe somebody lured her down there. You know, the mom found out within like 45 minutes or something that her daughter went missing. And her mom immediately goes to the hotel. The girl, Kanika's only been missing for like an hour or so. They're frantically looking for Kanika. They go to the front desk. They ask the front desk, can you pull up the surveillance videos to see if she left the hotel? See what direction she went in. They were uncooperative. They refused to pull the surveillance. Not until the cops got there several hours later. Then the surveillance finally gets pulled and they find her. I don't know why her friends took so long. I don't know why all three had to go. This is also the other big question of the case. Why did all three have to go? Why would you leave your drunk friend alone in an elevator? Why didn't at least one person stay with her? Or why didn't you all four go back together? Why did you guys all just abandon her to drunkenly walk off on her own? And it's like this crazy, insane, like the whole footage is out there for you to view. She's walking down these hallways. She walks into this back kitchen and then you never see her again. And this case just has a big question over it. Was this a crazy accident? Did somebody lure her down there and lock her? To me, in a way, if you watch her walk through the hallways, it looks like somebody could be shouting, hey, come over here, you know? Because she's kind of going, oh, no. And then she turns around like, okay, I'm going the wrong way. I got to go back this way. She kind of turns around like, oh, never mind, I got to go this way, you know? And I've thought about maybe somebody could be calling her back there. Because the one place that has no camera view is, you could barely see the freezer door in the video. Because, when she goes into, right there, when this is the camera, the freezer door is just like right here, just out of frame. It's like, the freezer door is like just out of frame. See, she kind of just stumbles down this hallway and she doubles back a couple times like, because the sad part is she takes the right here, and I think to the left, or that staircase right there, that's the lobby. Like, she's just right below the lobby. But it kind of looks like somebody's calling her away. So, like, this case has, like, the biggest question mark above it. Like, why didn't she just go up those stairs? Why did she keep going back that way? She comes down that way, then she goes this way, then she comes down the hallway, then she goes back down that way, back down to the right. And she keeps going that way until she finally ends up in the kitchen, walking diagonally across the kitchen straight to the freezer. Like, everywhere else she's stumbling and hugging walls. You can see she's using walls to hold herself up. She's stumbling and trying to find a wall to hold herself up. And then all of a sudden she just what? Walks diagonally across the kitchen straight to a freezer. I don't doubt accidents like that could happen, especially with, yeah. It sounds really off, like her three friends just ditch her all of a sudden. They don't go in the hotel room, grab her stuff, and get out in a minute or two. Or they don't just send one person in. They're like, hurry, go grab her stuff and get out. They go back in for another 15, 20 minutes. They go in the hotel. Don't come back out for a while. They leave her all alone. It's a really sad case if it is that simple that she accidentally hit the wrong elevator button, went downstairs, found that freezer. It just... And why, if the kitchen was under construction, why was the freezer on in the first place? If this kitchen wasn't in use, why was the freezer on in the first place? Now they have it all boarded up and everything, and right after she was found, like the next day, they boarded it up and put padlocks on it so nobody else can get back there. I love to watch, Stephanie Harlow does a good video on this. Stephanie Harlow is a really good person to watch. She thoroughly investigates before she puts up a video. She does thorough investigation. I try and do that. Before I put up a video, I don't put up a video every day because I try and think about it for a couple of days. I write notes on it. I write notes. And I try and think about something before I go live. Because I don't want to just spin more gossip. That's like the least thing I want to do is spin more gossip. But if somebody's got receipts, I'm out there telling you where to go to get those receipts. I'm like, go there, go there, go there, go there. Let's go get them. Well, now that I can put this window up in the corner, now I can present photos and videos and, see, like here, let's see, see, where's that photo I was telling you guys about that I wanted to show you? It is, see, where's, let's see. Trying to see if I can find that photo real quick that I was talking about. Because I was trying to prepare a video the other day and be like, how do I put up images? I hate this. I was like, I hate this OBS I got. I'm like, I don't like this OBS studio I got. Gypsy Rose, let's see. No, don't want that. Okay, hold on. Gypsy Rose, photos, and I don't know. It's hard to figure out how to find this image now. Let's see, is it under real life photos maybe? Trying to find the photo. See, like this picture, you got Dee Dee, Rod, and Gypsy. Where's the wheelchair? She's about 7, 8 years old in this photo. You can tell she's not 4 or 5 years old, okay? She's like 7, 8 years old in this photo. Where's the wheelchair? There she is in front of Rod without the wheelchair. She's right there in front of Rod, no wheelchair. See, right here, once again, photo with Rod, where's the wheelchair? Now he's all beat up. What is he getting in a fight with? Is there a wheelchair? No, I think she's in the wheelchair in this one. See, she's the same age. She's in and out that wheelchair. Whoops. No, I don't want that. I meant that. There's a picture where she's standing behind Rod. You can tell she's not in the wheelchair because she's standing up behind Rod going like this. And she's like 7. It's the same photo. It's this same photo, but instead of Gypsy sitting in Dee Dee's lap, she's behind Rod going like this. And it's like, okay, where's the wheelchair? I think this is a regular chair she's sitting in. Or is that a wheelchair? Oh gosh, all the photos I wanted to go over with you guys, I'm like, I can't find them. All the photos I've been talking about. Okay, come on. Find photos. There's a photo of her in that wig, but that's Joey King. I think Joey King did a wonderful job. I don't think anybody else could have played her better. I know Millie Bobby Brown is talented, but Joey King just did it so right, so perfect. Like, she definitely made it feel like the real Gypsy. Trying to find that right photo. Where's that right photo at? See, I need to just start just making tabs before I make a video and be like, tab that. Okay, we're going to talk about that scene. Tab that. We're going to talk about that scene. I need to start doing that now so when I don't go back on a video like this and search through a million photos of what I want to talk about and be like, okay, let's find that photo again. To show you guys how much she's lying and faking things, and there's so much more to what's going on. And like I said, she keeps showing things that seem innocent to explain her story, to explain her lie, but really it shows that she's lying. If you think outside the box when you're looking at the photo. And you can tell, like, the fact that all these photos when Gypsy's young in Louisiana, where's Christy? I don't see Christy in any photos. And then when they moved to Missouri, like, Christy doesn't even let Rod go visit Gypsy. And, oh, but now that Gypsy's famous, Christy's everywhere on top of this scene. Like, you look through all these photos, and I never see Christy anywhere. Never. Ever. Not until after Mommy, Dead, and Dearest comes out. Once Mommy, Dead, and Dearest comes out, you see Christy everywhere. Okay, oh. Bring that back up. Oh, well, okay. Blanchard wig photos, because that's what I want, wig photos. Do they have wig photos? Oh, is it this photo right here? It's this one right here. Okay, right there. That's the photo I wanted to show you guys. Right there. It's not a good photo of it, but see, look at Gypsy Rose in that wig. There's a purple wall behind her. See that purple wall? In the full photo, you can see a junction box behind her and a blue couch. This is middle of the day in her living room. That's the photo I wanted to show you guys. That's the middle of the day in the living room. Bad makeup job, though. That is a bad, horrible makeup job. Like, her mascara's everywhere. But you can see the purple wall in the junction box behind her. And you're going, oh crap. That is middle of the day in her living room. Did she take the photo with her phone? A computer? Her mom took it? I don't know. See, that's the photo I need to find the full photo of, so you guys can see the full photo. Because this is only a partial. This one's just a partial. People copying her. Dee Dee and Gypsy Blanchard discussion group. Join that. There you go. Go join it and get the tea. See this photo of her in the red wig with the black leather jacket that she has like slightly open. She talks about the reason why she posed like that was because the jacket is covering up the little buttonhole of the feeding tube. And she wanted to look sexy for guys, pretty for guys, and not have them see that buttonhole. Be like, I want timestamps on these photos to show that they were done before she met Nick. To show that these were for other guys and for Dan and for everybody else. It's like, I want timestamps. I want metadata. It's like, I want to see timestamps, metadata. I want to prove that Ruby and Candy and everybody existed prior to Nick, besides Dan's own testimony in court. That all of this existed prior to Nick. This was Gypsy's con. Her mom's con was a medical con. But in 2011, that ended. There was no more doctor's visits after 2011. That ended. The new con, they had to have a new con. And that new con, this was the new con. The shed was done up for, like a photo studio of a daycare, because Gypsy and everybody's kind of that sick that she would sometimes act like a little child in these videos, whatever the guys wanted. That's why there was a toddler bed in there, because she didn't sleep on a toddler bed. She was in there on a toddler bed because she was acting like a toddler. That's probably where Candy came from. The little toddler that... Well, that's what I think this photo is. She's trying to look like a little kid in this photo. She looks like you just punished her or something, and now she's sitting in the corner. She's like, oh, I've been punished. I'm a bad girl. She's giving that, sorry, I'm a bad girl look. Sorry, I'm a bad girl. See, who taught her to pose like that? Sorry, I'm a bad girl. One of the most telling things is Gypsy shows a video of her laughing really hard, and then she looks at her mom and she's like, oh, is it still rolling? And then she starts laughing again because she's like, okay, it's still rolling, so I got to keep the voice and I got to keep laughing, because why are you checking if it's still rolling? You're like, oh, camera's still on. Okay, I still got to play pretend. I still got to pretend. And to me, that's very telling. See, Gypsy shows little photos like that of her laughing, and she thinks it's innocent. But she's sitting there going, oh, we're still rolling. Okay, I gotta keep laughing then. And it's like, oh my gosh. It's like, exactly. Keep acting as long as the video's on. When your mom shuts down the video, you can stop acting. They're showing more photos of Joey King, not Gypsy. It's like, I want actual Gypsy photos, not Joey King. Is there anything you would like to look up, Becca, or anything you want to see, investigate on Gypsy? Any thoughts you've had about her case? The other thing I hate about what Gypsy Rose is saying, I've been wanting to say this for a while. By the way, first of all, let's see, you made a good point about her stepmom. Exactly. Where's the stepmom in all the birthday photos and everything prior to her being famous? Yeah, no, because they also, Rod has a fourth child out there, lLet, but she's not famous, so you never see, there's no pictures of lLet out there. The only reason they even care about Gypsy, and that, I think Christy purposely told Gypsy, because if it was me, I would, and my daughter-in-law's old boyfriend called me up, I'd be like, get lost. And I wouldn't tell my daughter-in-law. Maybe I wouldn't, but I don't know. I'd leave my daughter-in-law alone. She's happy. But I think she purposely broke Gypsy and Ryan up because the 3-hour distance, because I know tomorrow I got to take a trip to see my kids, and it's going to take 3.5 hours to drive there. So I know firsthand what it's like to drive 3.5 hours to see your kids. It sucks, okay? It sucks. It's a long day, very long day. She wanted TMZ and Lifetime and everybody at her house. They wanted her and Gypsy to break up. So, of course, she whispered stuff about Ken. Of course, I guarantee you what happened was Gypsy called Christy and told Christy stuff like, Ryan's hoarding in my new fridge and blah, blah, blah. And Christy's like, probably sat there acting like a sympathetic ear of, I'm sorry you're going through this, and that's a hard thing to go through. You know me and Rod are here for you. If you need somewhere to go, we're here for you. Because she's going from one abuser to another. She left her mom, who was an abuser. She's going to Christy, who is a new abuser, but with love. She abuses with love. She's taking control of Gypsy's life, but it's through love. She's doing the opposite of what Dee Dee did, but she's still controlling Gypsy. She's everywhere behind Gypsy now. She went to LA with Gypsy. I saw a snippet. What brought this to my mind was when I saw a snippet of the Lifetime show a couple of months ago. They showed Ryan and Gypsy at Gypsy's grandma's grave. And they're all saying nice words about her mom and her grandma and stuff. And hopefully you guys are in heaven getting along. And then all of a sudden you see Christy bouncing in the background. And I'm like, Christy, what are you doing bouncing in the background? Like, either you're, because I thought that was pretty irreverent of Christy to be kind of jumping around in the background. And I was like, you're just there for the clout. It's like you were never there until Mommy, Dad, and Dearest. And then all of a sudden, when the money started rolling in, when the fame started rolling in, there Christy is. Now she's holding Gypsy, and Rod's behind her, or Rod's on the other side, but Christy always places herself as close to Gypsy as she can in a photo. Acting like, oh no, this is Gypsy. My daughter-in-law, I love her. I feel so sorry for her. Christy and Dee Dee have a huge history, a huge past together. They hate each other. Dee Dee never stopped pulling stupid bull crap while Rod was dating Christy to get Rod back. Christy hates Dee Dee. She doesn't care about Gypsy. I'm surprised Rod was even there. I'm surprised there are past photos of Gypsy and Rod. And that's where the story comes in. Okay, so Gypsy was 14 when Hurricane Katrina came up, and that's the last time she was ever with Rod. Because they had her birthday party a month prior to Katrina. And that's when everything got separated and they disappeared. So how can at 14, 15 years old, your mom start telling you that your dad hates you and he's abusive and he always wanted a son, not a daughter? Like, that's a bunch of bull crap too. Because it's like, Gypsy, you were 14. Does that look like an abusive father, all those pictures we just looked at of Rod and them guys? Does that look like an abusive father? A father you hate? Like, all these stories are such BS. Like, all these stories are such BS. It's crazy. And so I think Christy was part of happily breaking up Gypsy and Ryan, because she knew that with Gypsy being on parole, the only place she could go if she left Ryan was her house. Because when you're on probation, you gotta yeah. And so the only place that's kind of pre-approved for her to go is to Rod and Christy's house. Some people say that Gypsy only married Ryan because he does live in Louisiana, the same state as her dad, and she always meant to divorce him. She she just wanted to have fun before she moved in with her dad. Like, she just wanted to, like, she just wanted to have a little bit of fun or something before she moved in with her dad. Is what I think. She just wanted, it's like a kid that really quickly wants to party before they go home. You know, they're like, I just want to party for a minute before I go home. I want a little bit of freedom. And then I'll come live with you guys. So it's crazy, like how this ended up, that she left with Ryan and then she ended up with leaving Ryan and being with Ken and stuff. And I think Christy had a part in it, though, because I think Christy was like, okay, now that Gypsy's living with me, Lifetime is in our home, and I don't have to drive 3 hours anymore. And I can imagine Ryan working Monday through Friday and not wanting to take a 3-hour drive every Saturday to see Rod and Christy. I can see him telling Gypsy, why don't we just stay home this weekend? I'm tired. Because Gypsy doesn't understand the role of a housewife. Yes, we are home all day, taking care of the pets or the children or both or whatever. And we're not the ones working hard and tired on the weekends. So yeah, we're a little more energetic on the weekends. She is a narcissist. Because everything is about Gypsy. Once again, her Mother's Day post. It wasn't, Christy's a strong woman, I want to be like that. It was, she lets me have my freedom. She lets me make my mistakes. She lets me do what I want to do. It's, her Mother's Day post wasn't honoring women in her life. It was honoring the strong women in her life, how they let her be her. Not how they mother her, not what they've taught her, how they let her be her. Everything's about Gypsy. Like I said, I made a video, I don't know if you saw it, about what I think happened with Ryan, poor Ryan. Because Gypsy probably did get down on him for, I can imagine Ryan not wanting to eat a lot in front of people because he is a big guy. And when you're a big guy, people look at you funny if you eat a lot of food. So I can see him wanting to take doggy bags home. And of course Gypsy eats in front of people. She's got some weight on her, but she's not like big like Ryan. But Gypsy's the only one allowed to have problems. And so Ryan can't express to Gypsy, I don't like to eat in front of people. I like to eat at home alone in my own time. I want to enjoy the food when I don't feel judged. And Gypsy can't let that happen because Ryan can't be a victim too. Gypsy doesn't have time to baby other victims. She wants people to baby her. She's the ultimate victim in this world. Like what I was just going to say. She's crying because she got dentures at 30. She's the only 30-year-old in the world with dentures. Okay, first of all, me and my brother both got dentures at 30. He got full dentures, both top and bottom. I have full top dentures. See? Dentures. That's what dentures are, okay? Dentures are when you can pull every tooth out of your head. Okay? That's what a denture is. What Gypsy has is what's called a partial. A partial is when you still have real teeth and they anchor the fake teeth in. And it's called a partial because you have part fake teeth, part real teeth. That's what I need for my bottoms because I have no molars. And see, I have no molars. So I gotta get, I've been like over 10 years without, I've been like 10 years without partials. I need to go get them. But she thinks she's the only 30-year-old out there with dentures. She doesn't have dentures, she has partials. These are dentures. She's got to be the ultimate victim, though. She doesn't have dentures. She still has some real teeth. They might have root canals, so they're kind of dead, so... I mean, she might as well have dentures, but she doesn't have dentures. She didn't get all her teeth taken out and replaced with completely plastic components. I don't have any top teeth. They're all fake. That's what a denture is. She's got partials. And I was, I think, 31-ish, around 31 when I got him. And my brother was around that same age, 31, 32, when he got both tops and bottoms. Like, weak teeth run in my family. And my brother Dave, my other brother, he could have gotten dentures, but he chose to have the root canals and everything and spend like $7,000. He pulled out a loan and spent like $7,000 to get his teeth fixed. I went the cheap route and just did dentures. Me and my brother, my oldest brother, we went the cheaper route and got dentures. And my other brother, and then my other two siblings, like, their teeth are much stronger, much better. They never had the same problems as us older three. Like, me and my older two brothers, like, for some reason, we have problems with our teeth, and we got dentures at a young age. And it's like, she pisses me off a lot because she acts like the ultimate victim. And she's not. There's other victims out there. I have some stories that can even match hers. But I'm not out there. I'm just out there, just not out there to tell my story. I'm out there to just, I'm one of those streamers out there that's kind of gotten tired of it and is just warning people out there, like, no, dig deeper, go down that rabbit hole. Because what happened with me was I didn't stream about Gypsy for like the first month that she came out of prison, and I got tired of watching the same surface story over and over and over again about Munchausen by proxy, her being a victim, Nick manipulating her. And I was watching Toddy One Skip, and then I was on Twitch. We were playing Fortnite one night, and it was right after Gypsy said that I'm living my best life ever, and we were playing Fortnite, and one of my friends that I was playing Fortnite with, he said that line. He's like, I'm living my best life ever. And then as soon as he said that, I said, and the D is fire. And then he's like, oh, so you know. And I said, yeah, of course I know Gypsy. I said, I'm kind of avoiding her a little bit. And then another person on my Twitch stream started talking about her. And I said, do you guys want me to make a YouTube video? And I was like, okay, I'll do it. I said, I'll do it. I said, I didn't want to touch her case because you got 9 million people watching this case. I don't want to touch it. I was like, I'm going to do Scott Peterson, and he's popular, but he's not 9 million popular. But I went ahead and did it, and then it's like once you touch this case, you can't stop touching it. It's like once you touch down to this case, you just can't stop. Because she's out there giving, like I said, I didn't know if I was going to post again. Because I was like, I should do a socio-psychopath post. I should. And then when I saw that threat to Nina, I was like, all right, people need to know that she's got her minions out there threatening Nina. So she's not doing it under her name because that'll send her straight back to prison. But one of her little minions is out there literally threatening Nina. And it's horrible. I'm like, she just keeps doing such horrible, nasty. When I saw her, Nina crying over her shutting down Nick, she spends her days trying to stop Nick's appeal, shutting Nick down and his supporters down. I was like, yeah, I need to get out there and let everybody know. I need to be one of those streamers that are out there making the community aware, because I know one person came on my video saying something about Toddy One Skip, that they watched Toddy One Skip too. So I don't know, if people just caught my video and they watch other people, or they just watch me, or they don't know where to go to look for things. Or like me, at first I didn't want to watch Fancy. I watched Toddy One Skip talk about Fancy, because Fancy does do some freakouts. But then I got curious enough to go down that rabbit hole that I started watching Fancy and just not caring that she was freaking out. Then I started understanding why she was freaking out. And then I just got over the fact that she freaks out. And she does have all of the info. I would say that right now she probably is one of the leading experts on this case. I saw a newspaper article from years ago where they quoted Fancy, Gypsy, and Christy all in the same article, because Fancy was a spokesperson for Gypsy and the family at one time, and there's proof out there that she was. And I saw that newspaper article out there. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to give Fancy a chance. I'm going to stop watching her through Toddy One Skip, and I'm going to go watch her myself. And so it's like, okay, if you guys don't want to watch Fancy, I'll tell you what she says. I will help you see what is being said without going through all the freakouts and... Oh, I thought it was this one, maybe. It's got to be this video. Trying to find the clip where she threatens Nina. I thought it was maybe in this video, but I can't find it. Was it in this one? Maybe it was in this one. I don't know. I watched this live. I was on this live for a little while. Yeah, Fancy was live on Sir Morbid this morning. And I watched that this morning. Oh, and Hello Starlight is amazing. I'm trying to find that video where who was it that reported on Gypsy threatening where is it that I swear I saw a video this morning. On her threatening Nina, and now I can't re-find it. It should be like right here in my history. I don't think it was her. I don't know where I saw this video. I wish I could find it again. It should be in my history. I should be like, boom, there it is. Here it is. It should be on my history. But I don't see it in my history. Because it wasn't this one. This was Nina and... But they were talking about malingering and the micro deletion. They weren't talking about... I'm not on TikTok much. I see Nina when she's on YouTube, but I don't go on TikTok much. I have a TikTok. I go on a tiny bit, but not a lot. I should go on it more. Because I swear I saw something this morning on it. See, this is where she tries to shut down Kate. See, she's like, Gypsy has trolled me and she and her fans mass report my videos. It's horrible. I'm glad I'm flying under the radar right now. Like, I haven't flagged enough viewers. Oh, here it is. Oh, it was Toddy One Skip that did it. I found it. This is horribly... This is one of the most horrible messages I've ever seen. Okay, it was Toddy One Skip. It's called Baby Reindeer and Adult Gypsy Rose, who is being held accountable for the truth. So, Toddy One Skip, she's the one who busts this out. So, I know that Toddy does their research, so I'm pretty sure this is true. I don't know why Nina hasn't come out and said anything. Maybe she has on her TikTok, just not on YouTube, and I haven't seen it yet. But, see, she says, hey, Christina, or Nina, who lives at, and then gives off an address. Beautiful house, by the way. I just have one question. How can you come for blank character, but then turn around and use a screenshot from one of her videos as a meme? What's that say about yours? A shame? The 8 pounds of makeup you throw on your face don't even cover. I wonder if this is Gypsy under another name, because I'm having a hard time reading this, because this person doesn't know proper English. You look like a gorilla on ooh, I didn't read that part. That is real bad to say that to her. To call a black woman a gorilla. That is horribly racist. One thing you didn't realize is blank has a whole team standing behind her. She was said what this person cannot speak English. What she said and let it go. But you, nah. You're too obsessed with drama, because that's the only thing that brings your lonely ass attention. Well, I got all day, and this won't be the last you hear from me. Also, for a business owner, you should make smarter moves. You are nothing without your social media profiles. Literally a nobody. People only know you because of your obsession with drama and Gypsy Rose. But hey, everyone loves a train wreck. That's why they keep watching you. LMFAO. You know what's effing disgusting? When nasty... it's like I don't even want to repeat some of the stuff she says on here. When nasty black bitches like yourself have to put on such a oh my gosh, she can't speak English, such a pathetic ass front, douse yourself in cheap ass makeup, and seek out beautiful white women like some predator just to make your gorilla ass feel better. Why don't you take care of your kids instead of lying in bed all day with 10 pounds of makeup on your ugly ass face while looking for your next victim? And the only people you come after are white women, though. Effing typical from trashy ass black bitches that wish they had what white women do. You are... surprisingly, they got you are right. That's correct English. Effing jealous and obsessed and take shows even though that ugly fake you do to your body. Hey, aren't you supposed to be a businesswoman? I forgot how often people like you just can't break that, she says the N-word, mentality, and end up, I'm not going to repeat the N-word, and end up just sitting on your ass all day pretending like what you're doing is so important. But I guess that's what your kind is used to anyways. Monkey see, monkey do, I guess. That is like... it's hard to get through. I didn't even read the whole thing earlier because it was on my phone and it was small. But I saw what Toddy One Skip said about it, and that was enough. And now reading the whole thing out loud was just horrible. I didn't want to make it through it, but it's like I wanted to read it to you so you can see what it said. I didn't want to do it. I don't talk like that. I feel real bad for Nina right now because that was really messed up to send her that letter. Literally, they're like, look, Gypsy's got a team behind her. We know your name. We know your address. We know everything about you. We know your kids. You know, we know you have kids. We know everything about you. See, that's what I tell my Twitch stream. You can try and hide your real identity as a streamer, but if somebody wants to find out who you are, they're going to find out who you are. Somehow people find out who you are. Once you put yourself out there as a streamer, it's really hard because people can seek you out. And it's scary. It's really scary because Gypsy's got 9 million people. That's stalking, that's harassment, that's threats. They said, "Hi, I know your real name. I know your address. I know your kids. There's a team of people watching you." What does that tell you? That's total harassment, stalking, threats. That's a literal threat. When they say, "Here's your address, your house is beautiful," they're saying basically either I've been there or I Googled you and I stood on your street through Google or something, or somehow they've gotten her address. They've looked, they know the layout of her house probably. They've probably looked up. You could type in anybody's address and see, like my house I live in, if you type in my address into like Zillow or something, you'll see 6 years ago from when I bought it. You can still see that ad up. Like once you put a house up for sale, the ad and the layout and everything is always there. And so these people are literally telling Nina, "I know your real name, I know you have kids, I know your address, and Gypsy's got an army. And here's a letter from that army. We're gonna call you everything under the sun that is racist, including the N-word." They're bold enough to use the N-word. I've never used the N-word. I would never use the N-word. My brother that passed away a couple months ago, just before he passed away, I got down on him for even thinking of using the N-word. Because he's autistic, he doesn't get it. I'm like, even in a joke, Tim, it's not funny. I said, even in a joke. I said, it's not funny. Not even to joke around. I said, you can't make a joke of it. It's not even funny. It's not funny. It's oh gosh. That letter is insane. They're basically laying it on to Nina. If you keep this up, like I said, watch. They're probably going to burn something on her front lawn or something next. Next, Nina's going to be calling the cops because something's burning on her front lawn or something. They're going to do something. Gypsy better watch out, because once you text somebody something, it's always going to be there, even if you try and erase it. She didn't learn it the first time, I guess. Because if something happens to Nina, and they, not only is she going back to prison, but I guarantee you Nina will charge her with something. With stalking, harassment, threats, all that. I guarantee you, like, not only is she going back to prison, but she's going back to prison with charges on top of it. And I'll be standing right behind Nina going, do it, do it, do it. No, nobody deserves that kind of letter. Nobody deserves that. Nina talks so nice and so sweet. She's such a nice, sweet person. You can just tell how sweet she is. mean, gosh. That's why I had to come on and stream today. Because I was like, okay, as far as I know, Toddy's the only one who has reported on that threat to Nina. And people need to know it's out there. People need to know that how far Gypsy's going. She's not sitting home thinking about advocating. She's sitting home surfing the internet, shutting anybody down. I'm surprised she hasn't come after Toddy yet. I'm flying low under the radar right now because I got a lot less viewers than Toddy. Hey, Breadmaster. No wonder I didn't like this ice cream. It's salted. Ooh, salted caramel's so good. The ice cream I had today had pralines and caramel on it because I love caramel. My dad bought the wrong. Oh, I'm sorry, Brad. You just missed the letter I read, Brad. I had told you about that little racist letter that Gypsy wrote. I finally found it. And I read it in its entirety, and it's just so wrong in every way. And now I'm just like calming down from reading that letter because it's just, it's so full of just racist, stupid bullcrap. I'm like, oh, hey. Here, I'll give you guys the link because I don't want to read it again. I should put this in the comments because I don't want to read it again. I can't do that. I can't read it again. It's like I can't do it. I was like, if you guys want to go see it, it's on Toddy One Skips. It's called Baby Reindeer and Adult Gypsy Rose. Because, Hollywood doesn't care if they got the wrong story or not. Hollywood cares, does it bring in money? Is it accurate or not? Does it bring in money? That's all that matters. It's just like the newspapers. You can't trust newspapers because they spin the story that's popular, not the real story. And you've seen that. I've showed you that, Brett. And now after what happened to me and Dawn, Landrix and Tulips they definitely now don't trust the news anymore because they spin what's popular, not what's true. They spin what gets readers and what gets money. And what gets readers and money is dirt, drama, and lies. And the truth is boring. Truth never gets. Except for in Gypsy's case, we all want the truth because in her case, the truth is crazier than what happened. She just needs to tell the truth because but she's not going to tell the truth because she's afraid that charges will come down on her. Because once she unalived her mom, she was able to spin the narrative so that people looked at her as the victim and didn't see her as one of the con artists. So yeah, it's all crazy. So yeah, everybody can There we go. I finally found the video. I thought it was some unknown person. I thought I was just skipping through Gypsy stories this morning and I thought it was some unknown person that yeah, I thought it was somebody. And Brad here, I did a video on, I did a YouTube video on a smaller. See, that's what I wanted to do on my streaming channel too. Was I wanted to do true crime stories on smaller cases that get like a snippet in the newspaper, and then people overlook. And he brought me a story from Belgium that is a really good story about stalking and being careful around your stalker, or it can end badly. And so there's not very many snippets in the newspaper about her. I grabbed what I could in English because it's printed in like 5 different languages. I wanted to bring smaller people's stories to light. People out there that have stories that lessons can come out of them. You know, you make that one mistake and it's your last mistake. And she made that one mistake and it was her last mistake. Because you never know what somebody's thinking, and it could turn out so very wrong. But yeah, like this November, we'll have to watch out, Becca, this November for Susan Smith coming up for parole and see if she gets it or not. We'll have to watch for that. See if she comes out and tries to use social media for sympathy or something. I'm so glad that Gypsy never met up with Joey King in LA. I know she wanted to. I'm so glad she hasn't. I'm worried, Brad, that Taylor Swift has 3 concerts in Louisiana. You know Gypsy's probably going to buy tickets to every single concert in Louisiana. She's probably going to buy tickets to every concert. When does Taylor Swift come to Louisiana? Because I bet you she's going to buy tickets to all 3 concerts. She's going to be right there, front and center, all 3 concerts. She's probably going to try and run up on stage and be like, meet me. Just kidding. She's like, Taylor, can I be in the VIP section? I'm a celebrity. VIP me. I think you said October or something. Oh, is this live? November 1st through 3rd? Okay. Because I'm going to be watching for. I'm going to be watching for what happens. Okay, November 1st through 3rd. Taylor Swift, Louisiana. Okay. Maybe she'll get arrested for stalking Taylor Swift. I bet she'll probably get tickets to all 3 shows and 3 different outfits for each show and be like, this is my era I'm in for this concert, and then this is my era for my next concert. And oh, are they not live anymore? Did they shut down? Oh, I caught the end of it. Oh, I caught the very end. Man, they do such good work. They are amazing people. It took me a while to watch Hello Starlight also, but she does good work too. Oh gosh, darn it. Is it true Taylor Swift doesn't like? I think I heard that. Okay, so Gypsy Rose thinks that and her fans think that that song was written about Gypsy, and Gypsy has this idea in her head that Taylor Swift did write this song about me and Taylor Swift does like me, but because I'm such a high profile name and in a few negative ways, like I'm controversy, that's why Taylor Swift won't come out and say, yes, this song's about Gypsy, yes, I want to meet Gypsy, because the controversy surrounding Gypsy's name. And so, yes, Taylor Swift does like her, but she just doesn't want to be part of the controversy. Fresh out the slammer? She thinks that Fresh Out the Slammer was completely written for her. Okay, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back, Bredio. And then we'll decide what we want to do. I got a couple hours before I gotta pack up and go to bed. Thank you, Becca, for being here. I will see you later. I'm traveling this weekend, like I said, but I'll be back on Monday. You have a good night. Stay safe. You want to head over? You want me to shut down stream and head over to Discord, Brad? So I'm pretty much done here. We talked a lot of crap tonight. Not crap. I shouldn't say crap. We talked a lot of for entertainment purposes and for educational purposes, and we talked a lot about what's going on. So, like, it's actually is a lot of truth and a lot of crazy stuff, and I just like to say the word crap for the fun of it, but I shouldn't call this stuff crap that's on this, because this is truth. This is crazy crap. There's receipts. This stuff is real and crazy. Blah, 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 blah. I can't speak. I'm like real and crazy. Crazy. And I gotta pack up stuff on my desk for tomorrow. I hate traveling, Brett. It only might be one more month, Brett. Can you believe it? One more month of traveling, maybe. Cross your fingers, say a little prayer for us. It might be only one more month of all this. It might be only one more month. Maybe if I'm not sick in the car, I'll watch some Survivor like Fury wants me to. If I can manage, because we'll be back in our own car. We're not in Timmy's car. Maybe I can watch some Survivor or something. Maybe I can get some Survivor done, because I have a 4-hour trip there, 4 hours back. I got a total of 8 hours. I will just be sitting there. We might have to go buy a charger. I left the charger in Timmy's car. Okay, let's pop over to Discord. Alright, you guys, love you guys on YouTube. Thanks for joining me today. Thanks. Let me know what you guys want me to go over more. We talked a lot of cases today. There's a lot of cases to go over. And there's, just millions of cases in the world. So if there's one in your area that you want me to go over that's not as noticed, let me know that too. And I will go research it and go look it up. And because I'm not just into famous cases that are out there. I'm into doing also smaller cases that need attention brought to them. And so just let me know. Thank you guys. Stay warm, stay safe, stay happy, and stay loved. And I will see you guys later.